Depression is real, but you know what else is real: your power to destroy it, not manage it, not cope with it, destroy it. You weren't born to live on your knees. You weren't built to walk through life like a victim. Somewhere along the way, people convinced you that it's okay to feel sorry for yourself, that it's normal to lie in bed all day, ignore your responsibilities, lose interest in your own future, and call it healing. That's not healing. That's slow death. That's decay disguised as self-care. There's a war going on inside your mind, and you can't afford to be passive anymore. You either take command of your emotions, or your emotions will bury you. Depression isn't some invisible monster that sneaks up on you in the night. It's the result of days, weeks, months, maybe even years of ignoring your instincts. You were built to fight. You were designed for war. But you've been lulled to sleep by comfort, convenience, and lies. You don't need more rest. You need a reason to get up and go to war again. Depression thrives in inaction. It lives in stillness. It multiplies in silence. The more you sit still, the more it grows. The more you wait for motivation, the more you feel like a prisoner in your own mind. The more you seek distractions, games, social media, substances, the more you push yourself deeper into the hole. It's not going to magically go away because someone gives you a hug and tells you everything's going to be all right. Everything is not going to be all right if you keep living like this. You have to choose to fight back. You don't wait to feel good to take action. You take action to feel good. That's the code. That's the secret. That's the way out. You don't listen to your feelings. They're traitors. You override them. You override them with discipline, with motion, with purpose. Your brain wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants to conserve energy, but that's not what a fulfilled life is made of. A fulfilled life is made through resistance. Through effort, through grinding every day even when your body is screaming at you to stop. Every single person on this planet has dark thoughts. Everyone, but only a few choose to fight those thoughts like their life depends on it, because it does. You see people with smiles on their faces, but you don't see the war they've had to fight to get there. The difference between them and you isn't that they never felt what you feel, it's that they didn't quit. They didn't accept it as permanent. They didn't make it their identity. They looked depression in the eye and said, "You don't own me." So now the question is, are you going to keep lying to yourself? Are you going to keep blaming your circumstances, your past, your parents, your failures? Or are you going to finally take responsibility for your life and declare war on this weakness inside you? The first battle is physical. Depression clouds the mind, but the body is the battlefield. You start with motion. Wake up early. Even if your body screams at you to sleep, make your bed. Don't scroll your phone. Don't check messages. Move, lift something, push your body to sweat, to burn, to feel alive. It doesn't matter if it's weights, running, boxing. Just move. When your body is under pressure, your mind has no choice but to engage. You must rewire your brain through action. The chemicals in your head aren't some mystical curse. They're signals. They react to your environment, your movement, your food, your thoughts. Change your inputs, change your brain. Every time you get out of bed when you don't want to, you teach your mind discipline. Every time you train when you're tired, you teach your body to adapt. Every time you fight through the discomfort, you grow a little stronger. Stop feeding the depression. Stop feeding it with isolation. Stop feeding it with junk food. Stop feeding it with Netflix marathons, with porn, with pity. You want to beat this. Starve it. Cut it off at the root. If you're doing things every day that drain your energy and destroy your self-respect, of course you're going to feel broken. Your soul isn't broken. It's malnourished. It's starving for structure, for victory, for intensity. You know why people spiral into depression? Because they've been lied to about what happiness is. They've been told that happiness is sitting around doing nothing, that it's eating what you want, watching what you want, sleeping as long as you want. That's not happiness. That's sedation. Real joy comes from struggle, from progress, from facing something that scares you and doing it anyway. You don't build pride by lying in bed all day. You build it by doing hard things and conquering them. So many people are chasing happiness, but they've never tasted purpose. They're trying to feel good without earning it. That's why depression has taken over, because when life gets hard, and it will, they have nothing to hold on to. They have no foundation, but not you. You're going to build your foundation now. You're going to build it out of pain, out of sweat, out of every small victory you win daily. That's how you become unstoppable. And you need to talk to yourself like a warrior, not like a victim. Stop saying, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm broken. Words are spells. You say them enough, and you believe them. Instead, tell yourself, I don't care how I feel. I'm going to dominate today anyway. Talk to yourself like a fighter stepping into the ring. Nobody steps into the ring because they feel ready. They step in because they trained for war. This is your war. Your emotions are not the enemy. They are the test. You want to know the real reason why depression owns most people? Because they don't have a mission. They wake up with nothing to fight for, nothing to chase, no target. So the mind turns on itself. It starts asking dangerous questions. What's the point? Why am I here? Does anything matter? Of course, you're going to feel lost if you're not aiming at anything. Pick a target and chase it like your life depends on it. Because it does. I don't care what it is. Build a business, master a craft. Become the strongest version of yourself. Whatever it is, make it so big, so intense, so consuming that you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself. Give your mind something to serve, something bigger than itself. That's how you silence the noise. That's how you kill the depression. Not by trying to make it go away, but by outgrowing it. And while you're at it, get around winners. Your environment is everything. If you hang around people who whine all day, who play victim, who talk about how life's unfair, you'll absorb that mindset like a sponge. But if you get around men who are hungry, focused, and obsessed with excellence, something inside you will snap. It will wake up. You'll start to realize you've been living in chains, and you'll get angry. That's good. That anger is power. Use it. Build your tribe. Surround yourself with people who demand your greatness. Cut off the emotional vampires. Cut off the pity circles. You don't need people who pat you on the back while you drown. You need people who throw you a rope and tell you to climb, who don't care about your excuses, only your results. Because that's what you need now, results. And remember this, every day you don't act is a day you slide deeper. Momentum works both ways. You can spiral up or spiral down. Depression is not something that just shows up out of nowhere. It's a build-up, and the only way out is to start stacking wins, no matter how small. One cold shower, one hard workout, one healthy meal, one business call. Stack the bricks, lay the foundation, build your comeback. And when the voice in your head whispers, you can't do this, you talk back. You say, watch me. You say, I've been through worse. You say, I'm not done yet. That voice doesn't define you. You do. That voice wants you to surrender. You show it you're still fighting. Every time you ignore the voice and take action anyway, you weaken it. You take its power, and one day it'll be silent, but don't expect it to be easy. This isn't a motivational quote on Instagram. This is life, and life is brutal, but so are you. You just forgot. You forgot what it means to be dangerous, to be focused, to be alive. You've been walking through life like a zombie, waiting for someone to shake you out of your coma. Consider this your wake-up call. No more waiting, no more hoping, no more hiding. You want your mind back, fight for it. You want your joy back, earn it. You want peace, you build it with your own two hands. There are no shortcuts, no magic pills, only action, discipline, pain, and progress. You either kill depression or it kills you. Simple. Now get to work. Depression wants you weak. It thrives on your hesitation. It multiplies when you sit still and accept life as it is. It feeds on your comfort, your excuses, your distractions. That's why you can't just live with it, you must crush it. You must make your life so intense, so purposeful, so disciplined that depression cannot survive in your atmosphere. You must become a furnace of energy, productivity, and drive, so hot that no shadow can exist around you. It will tell you to rest. It will tell you to give up. It will whisper lies like, this is just who you are now, or you'll never get out of this. That voice is not your friend. That voice is the enemy, and the longer you entertain it, the stronger it gets. The more you believe it, the deeper it roots into your mind. You can't afford to have conversations with it. You can't afford to let it sit at the table. You kick it out with action, with force, with fire. The problem is, most people try to fight depression by talking about it. They talk to therapists, friends, strangers online. They pour out their emotions but never change their actions. You can't out-talk a problem you lived yourself into. You have to live your way out. Talking helps only when it's followed by transformation. The real cure is not in the words. It's in the discipline, the motion, the grind. Because while you're talking, depression is still growing. It's still inside you, and unless you fight it physically, mentally, spiritually, you will never be free. There's a version of you that doesn't feel like this. A version that doesn't flinch in the morning when the alarm goes off. A version that doesn't avoid mirrors because he respects what he sees. A version that doesn't rely on distractions to numb the void. That version exists, but he's buried underneath years of quitting, excuses, and comfort. Your job now is to dig, to fight, to drag that version of you out of the grave you've buried him in. That means sacrifice. That means choosing pain over pleasure, growth over comfort, discipline over desire. You think you're in pain now? Try staying exactly the same for another year. That's real pain, the pain of regret, of wasted time, of looking back and realizing you could have become a killer, but you chose to be a coward. That's the pain most people live with, but not you, because you've seen the truth. You know that comfort is the enemy. And now you fight back, get your routine locked in, set your wake-up time and never break it, hit the gym even when you're sore, read something that sharpens your mind every day, build a side hustle that makes you money. Stack your wins. This is how you drown depression. You overwhelm it with forward movement. You smother it with progress. You push so hard that it can't keep up. You don't need to feel better before you start. You start and eventually you'll feel better. And don't be shocked when it tries to creep back in. It will. It always does. It waits for weakness, for laziness, for comfort to creep back into your life. The moment you stop pushing, it attacks. So you build your mind like a fortress. You develop mental habits just like physical ones. You shut down negative thoughts before they bloom. You don't entertain your feelings when they want to sabotage you. You remind yourself who you are, what you're building, and what's at stake. You know what's at stake, your life, your future, your legacy. That's not an exaggeration. Depression doesn't just steal joy. It robs you of time. Years vanish while you sit still, hoping to feel better. The clock doesn't care how you feel. It keeps moving, and every second you spend waiting is another second you'll never get back. So you stop waiting. You act no matter what, and when you feel pain, good, that means you're still alive. That means your body still responds. Use that pain, harness it, turn it into intensity, into fire, into a personal declaration that you will never settle for weakness again. Pain can destroy you or it can remake you. That choice is yours. Let it forge you. Let it burn away the softness. Let it reveal the iron underneath. Because it's there, you've just buried it. Don't allow yourself to be surrounded by losers. Their energy infects you. If they aren't on fire for life, they're pulling you toward the grave. If they don't demand greatness from you, they'll keep you small. You don't need sympathy. You need pressure. You need people around you who will call you out when you slack, who will challenge you, who will remind you who you're supposed to be. And if you don't have those people, be that person for yourself. Be your own drill sergeant. Wake up and look in the mirror and say, "You will not be average today." Say it until you believe it. Say it until it burns into your brain. Repeat it like a mantra until every lazy impulse is crushed by the discipline you've built. You don't need motivation. You need orders. You need standards. You need to treat yourself like a soldier under command. You will be tempted to give in. You will have moments where the sadness feels like a tsunami. That's when you double down. That's when you push harder. That's when you move. You don't let the waves drown you. You learn to surf them. You rise above. You adapt. You fight when it hurts the most, because that's where the real strength is born. You want peace, then build the strength to protect it. Weak men don't get peace. They get chaos. They get suffering. They get devoured by their own thoughts. But strong men create peace through force. Through control, through structure. They don't beg the world to be easier. They become stronger than whatever the world throws at them. That's your mission now. To become the kind of man who doesn't break, because he already bent himself on purpose. And don't go looking for happiness. It's a side effect, not a destination. You chase purpose. You chase discipline. You chase mastery, and happiness follows. You chase pleasure, you get addiction. You chase comfort, you get weakness. You chase meaning, you get fulfillment. That's how the world works, and deep down you already know that. There's a reason you feel empty after wasting hours watching nonsense. There's a reason you feel ashamed after choosing comfort over challenge. Your soul knows the truth. It knows you're capable of more. That's why it aches. That's why it hurts. That's why you feel like you're dying inside. Because you're living beneath your potential, and no pill, no podcast, no playlist can fix that. Only purpose can, so get to work. Craft a schedule so intense that your mind doesn't have time to wander. Wake up early. Train until you're drenched in sweat. Eat clean. Read daily. Build a project that demands your best. Focus so hard that anxiety has no space to grow. You don't need more time to rest. You've been resting long enough. You need challenge. You need friction. You need fire, and it won't take long. A week of hard discipline, and you'll feel the fog start to lift. 2 weeks, and your eyes will start to shine again. A month, and your mind will feel like a weapon. But you can't stop there. This isn't a one-time fix. It's a new way of living, a permanent state of war against weakness. You either maintain your momentum or you collapse back into the hole. That's the truth, and the truth doesn't care about your feelings. So accept it, embrace it, use it, let it push you, let it harden you. Because you'll look back at this moment one day and realize it wasn't the end, it was the beginning. It was the moment you stopped running, the moment you stopped hiding, the moment you stood up and said no more. No more playing small. No more excuses, no more being the man who almost did something with his life. You do it now. You become obsessed with becoming unrecognizable. You commit to building yourself into a machine, physically, mentally, emotionally. You become the kind of man who inspires others just by walking into the room, the kind of man who others look at and say, "How did he do that?" You know how, through pain, through suffering, through outworking everyone. Through showing up every single day when nobody else would. Through killing the weak voice inside, one rep, one step, one win at a time. That's how legends are made. That's how warriors are built. That's how depression dies. You have the power, right now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, you either act or you decay. You rise or you rot. There is no neutral. There is no pause button on life. You're either building the life you want or watching it slip through your fingers. So grab it, seize it, take control. Make your body your ally. Make your mind your weapon. Make your pain your fuel. This is your fight, your life, and you will win. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to be defeated. Start now. Never stop. You want to know how to beat depression, outwork it, outlast it, outfight it. Make your life so loud, so structured, so powerful that depression can't even find a place to breathe. Don't sit and wait for motivation. Don't pray for the mood to change. You change, you decide. You declare war on every weak thought in your head, and you back that declaration with action. You don't owe the world a broken version of yourself. You owe it the strongest, sharpest, most unstoppable version of who you were born to be. Every day you rise is another chance to dominate the battle inside. Every time you push through the pain, you send a message. I'm still here. And I'm not going anywhere. The world doesn't care about your excuses, and depression doesn't care about your dreams. So stop explaining and start executing. Burn the old version of you and rise as the one who refuses to be broken. The one who leads, the one who wins, the one who turns pain into power. Because in the end, the fight is simple. It's you, vs you, and you don't lose, not anymore.